Welcome to the NHL From the SinBin podcast. My name is Dallas Dahlside, joined by Zach, Spencer, Justin Homes, and Greasy Griffin. How are you guys doing today?
Oh, good. How about you?
I'm not doing too bad. We've got good weather here in Saskatchewan, plus 17 today. So I might have to get the street hockey going later on after this podcast.
Well, it's
Yeah,
pouring here in Manchester, New Hampshire. There's no chance of playing street hockey, but we're surviving.
It's nice out in Montreal, except you can't go outside.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare.
We got snow.
All right, I say we give a couple of intros on our teams. Dallas, I think you should start first, just so we can roast you right off the bat.
I see
okay, all right. Well, you can see in the background here, we've got some Toronto Maple Leaf, logos. This is in the childhood room, though. Let's get this out of the way right now. I'm not a Leafs fan. I once was as a child, but those days are over with. I'm now a Dallas Stars fan, a big fan for that matter, and all of this right there is fake. It's a myth. It's
You are
not
a
true.
big-time Dallas Stars fan. You have how many Leafs jerseys do you have that fit your current body?
Or
I think there's maybe one or two. I got those as a gift from Christmas, though. I'm sticking with that story.
There's one for each day of the week for sure.
Yeah, why
Home
are you
and
getting
aways.
jerseys as gifts if you're a Stars fan?
I gotta say though, like the Leafs, I have notifications on my phone when the team scores, but
So-
you're a Leafs
it's all
fan.
for school. I swear.
Yeah,
I
so
don't
he's a
want to know when they score. I don't want to know.
Yeah, Leafs fan, but just claims he's a Dallas Stars fan. No chance, but yeah.
moves to Toronto, all of a sudden doesn't want to be a Toronto fan.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot of good being a Leafs fan though. The Stars not much either, but it's really just tough, being a Leafs/Stars fan. You can't win in this world.
Have you ever even seen like a Stanley Cup final like in your lifetime? Or no?
In 1999, the Stars won, but I was like 1 or 2 years old, so it kind of counts, I guess. Kind of.
Well, you were a Leafs fan then, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. You've got me dead to rights. All right.
Yeah, well, I'm from Montreal, so unfortunately I have not seen the Habs make the finals in my lifetime. They won a year before I was alive. We are still the greatest franchise in hockey history. We'll maintain that until one of you guys catches up to our 24 Stanley Cups, which seems a long ways away. But
Yeah, back when it was a men's league, but sure, go for it.
we're the last team that's going to be in the playoffs this year. It's really working out great for a Habs fans.
It's nice you guys won against a bunch of plumbers, but
Yeah, all right.
well, I'm a Bruins fan. I'm closer to Toronto, so it's tough, but I don't know what's there not to love about the Bruins. So, and I've seen a Stanley Cup.
That's true. Yeah, I'm Griff. People call me Greasy, or they at least they used to. I'm a Bruins fan. Have been my entire life, just being from New England. Once again, like Holmes, I've seen the cup re-raised a few times. I've also seen other teams raise it in our barn, but it's all right.
What assholes from New England. You get to win everything.
Yeah, it's really
It
unfortunate.
hasn't been bad for the past 22 years, that's for sure.
I think the next 22 years, they're going to be a long 22 years, especially with Brady out of there in New England now.
Yeah, it's not going to be good, but I'm sure we'll find a way still.
The
Yeah,
Bruins will be fine. We got a prospect pool. It's all good. We're rocking.
Are you a prototypical Boston fan, like Boston all the way through?
Me, yeah. Boston for everything. Red Sox, Patriots, Bruins. I mean, did I say Celtics yet or no? Yeah, no. Celtics, I really don't care about basketball, but I mean, if I was to say a team, it'd be the Celtics.
Like, nice life.
Yeah. It hasn't been bad, like I said.
I don't have a baseball team. They left. We don't have a basketball team. We have a hockey team that doesn't make it into the playoffs.
Yeah.
Nightmare.
All right. Well, obviously the NHL's canceled. We're all bored as could be in the house. What are some of the things we've been doing to entertain ourselves over the last little while? I know for me, I've been dabbling in a couple of betting games, simulation games, that is. Passing the time well. It's not going well, though, I must say. I'm getting burned.
Can you explain this betting simulation?
I've been betting playing NFL Madden games lately, simulation style. They do 15-minute quarters, and it's a hard watch, honestly, because the players are just so bad and no one does anything realistic. But it's quite the rush when you get a team that wins the game. I gotta say, it feels really good.
You know, it's bad when we're all watching like fantasy games on our computers and betting on that. That's just what is this world? What is this world
It's a
coming to at
brand
this
new
point?
low for everyone.
This is just it's just the lowest it can be really for a degenerate gambler. Yeah, I've been just hitting golf balls into the woods. My neighbor's been hating that. Been building a wall with my parents because they want to build a wall for some weird reason, and then just like you guys, just betting on the dumbest things. And
just a wall. You have to.
well, it's a big like rock wall thing. I don't know. It's just I honestly think it's just a waste of time. We're just trying to kill time right now, but that's all we've been doing. And then of course the whole like betting on weird stuff, buying way too many scratch tickets, just anything to pass the time at this point.
I'm pretty lucky. I live in the country.
Holmes,
So
what have you been up to during the break?
Oh.
Oh, sorry, it was delaying. It was delaying.
Well,
Easy.
Dallas, as I was saying,
Halfway through his story.
I'm lucky I live in the country on the lake, so I have a little setup for working out. It's a little bit of a hillbilly setup, but I got some bricks and stuff on a pole that I can do a little bit. Got a net set up for shooting pucks, and it's sad. Yeah, you know, I've no one, you know, I'm basically an only child here. My sister's moved out, so I throw a football from one end of the yard to the other. I got not too much entertainment, but and playing a lot of video games.
Griff, we gotta ask you because me, Justin, and Dallas were all in school, and Justin likes to think that he's the world's greatest athlete. How far would you say, just by looking at the guy, do you think he could throw a football?
Not far. That's for sure. I would say max maybe 20 yards.
Oh,
and the thing, it just end over end on its.
He thought he could throw it 50 yards.
I can't.
Yeah, no.
We're gonna have this set up where I'm gonna have to live stream it or something. I got my dad out there with the rangefinder.
Yeah, that's a smart thing to do. Let's live stream you throwing a football, and we'll cut it. We'll have you throwing it, and then we'll have it show us where it lands. It'll be fine.
There's less than 0% that the ball goes 50 yards.
I've seen him throw a football before. Like the max it went was 30 yards maybe, and he had like a 5 or 10 yard running start before he let it just go.
It was like an Aaron Rodgers like heave.
I got 43 the one day. 43.
It was down a hill.
Better than Phillip Rivers over there, Dallas. I've seen you throw a football. Jesus. Throw it from your
I've got a nice strong arm. I've been actually playing a little bit of catch in the backyard with a baseball, not a football. Getting the arms warmed up for the summer months. You never know when you're going to need it, but yeah, I don't know. Playing catch is fun, passes the time. It's all right. My arm's kind of fucking sore after a couple days, but
no, it didn't stretch beforehand. He just went right into throwing 90-mile-an-hour heaters into his backyard.
Yeah, Holmes, how fast do you think you could throw a
regretted it so
fastball?
like that's like what happened here?
I don't know, not that fast.
Just
I'm
like
not getting pretty.
Felt like Max Scherzer after a good day.
Oh yeah, well, I've just been stuck at home in Montreal because I was in Florida for the month during this whole mess. Then when I got back now, apparently I'm forced into quarantine for 2 weeks.
I mean, that makes sense. That Florida was not a good spot to be.
No, but I was quarantined basically for a month in Florida, and then upon returning, they're like, well, you got to keep quarantining. So
that's brutal.
Well, maybe if you stayed there, you could have been on the beaches. They've basically opened up.
I know. That would have been lovely.
Could
have been nice.
Hand in Jacksonville there.
Could have played some ball hockey.
Beach volleyball too, maybe. I'm sure you'd like that.
Oh, you're killing me, Dally. You really do.
I'm sure, yes.
So what's everyone's hockey background? Because I'm sure people listening to a hockey pod want to listen. Dally?
Yeah. Dally, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. Honestly, I've played hockey since I was 5. I wasn't very good. I was always like a middle-level tier player. My highlight story is when I was in grade 9, it would have been, so Bantam. I I ended up riding my stick past the other team's bench when I scored a hat trick in the first period, and I ended up getting a 2-minute unsportsmanlike penalty. So at that moment, I knew I wasn't going
Brilliant.
anywhere. But yeah, that was definitely my highlight moment of my minor hockey career.
Brilliant.
That's impressive.
Griff, all you.
So right now I'm a college hockey player. It's the NCAA D2, obviously, which isn't really isn't a thing, but the division, that's what they consider it. So it's D3 college hockey. I'm considered kind of like a fourth line grinder. Sometimes I'm a no line grinder. I'm just a person who just muck it up and whatever. But my highlights was definitely, up until this day, is being a locker room guy. Just like to entertain the boys and just kind of keep them entertained and occupied. And really, I should have been a golfer, but I stuck to hockey instead. So that's where I'm at.
Holmes.
Well, I was played for the local team growing up. Not much, and it was just all fun. All the guys from school, we all played. We still all hang out together and stuff. My highlight, like Dallas, I scored one in the playoffs, and I thought it was nasty, but it really wasn't. It was a horrible goal, and I went down on one knee because all the kids from the high school were there watching, and I went to do the one hand on the ice and fell right into the board. So then I got the nickname Dangle Snipe and Crash. What?
Yeah, everyone calls you that. I hear it all the time.
Yeah, all the time.
That was going to be your nickname for the website, but we had to change it for other reasons.
Yeah, it was too long. Yeah, so me, I played pretty competitively, but nothing too good, I like to think I was okay. Jewish community, great in the Jewish community. Really killed it there. Highlight of my career, 100%. Got called up to the Bantam Double B squad. Our numbering is different than what it's at in Ontario, probably in New Hampshire too.
Yeah, I have no clue what you're talking about, but go for it.
First 7 games, I had 0 points, and I'm like, oh, this is just going terrible. And then I was ready to go switch teams. 8th game, I won a face-off. The captain of our team just sniped it off the face-off, so I got an assist. That was awesome. Still remember it. Guy got drafted.
So Griff's the only one with any hockey experience, let's be real.
Well, I can't – I'm not saying I'm some stud. I remember I mentioned something that's funny, I guess, is my freshman year I played for our town high school team just for 1 year before I went and played juniors and then prep school. And first game in front of everybody, I thought I scored a goal. I tipped it midair, and there was an easy button with all the seniors behind the glass that would hold it. So I thought I was be cool guy and smacked the easy button. Well, they pulled the button away, and it turned out it wasn't a goal. I was high sticking. So that's pretty much that was the highlight of my my life so far in hockey. But other than that, that's pretty much it.
Just to have fans. I don't think I've ever played a game with fans.
Yeah, I'm all about the fans. I'm all about interacting with the fans.
You're a man of the people.
Yeah, hockey comes second.
Yeah, that's when I'm watching a game, and especially if it's local or whatever, and they act like they can't see you. I love just giving everyone a wave. I never understand why people act like you're not there. Love the fans.
Agreed. Hockey players in the NHL especially, they need to be more interactive with the fans.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Dally's frozen again, I think. What a picture he froze on too.
That's terrifying. I'm going to have nightmares tonight looking at that. Oh, there he is. He's moving again.
Oh, Dally, you can figure out your internet. Don't you live in the big city of freaking Saskatoon?
I do. I got our back now. Okay, we're good. We're good.
I thought you were getting new internet too.
I changed my Wi-Fi. My Wi-Fi was on 5G. We went back to the normal one. Someone called an audible before, I guess. So we've got the right play call now, and we should be good for the rest of the show.
Oh, not a worry. Not a worry in the world, Dallas. Not a worry.
Good stuff, Dally.
What did I miss? Did I miss anything exciting while I was gone?
No, we basically just chirped how scary that picture was. You looked like it looked like a wanted poster, if I'm being honest with you.
Oh no, it froze me. That's unfortunate. Hopefully no one had their phones out for that one.
Yeah, we'll get a screenshot of it.
Yeah, we'll post it on Twitter. Don't worry.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, I wouldn't expect anything less.
All right. Well, the NHL is currently suspended I've seen no one seems to have any idea what's going on besides in the world, but in the hockey world. Do you guys have any thoughts or predictions on what we're going to see?
Crazy to think that the players are still like all confused. Like they have no idea even what's going to happen. Obviously, I think it's going to be a little while still before we even get any kind of talks going about a return. They've mentioned a few like possible areas to return, like Saskatchewan, North Dakota. I think even New Hampshire said they might.
Yeah, that's new arena where the Manchester Monarchs used to play out of. Paul Bissonnette, that was his last little stint, kind of in the AHL, I should say. The governor's been talking about bringing it there, and I mean that'd be an absolute time. Just going to a game and then ripping up Elm Street afterwards, and going to the world's weirdest bars after. That'd be a weird sight.
Probably
but yeah,
going to be shut down. I'm assuming if they're going to play there.
Yeah, that's true.
I know they keep talking about like players will need so much time to get ready. Do you believe that? Like to me, it seems sort of crazy because everyone's on the same level. I guess to a certain extent, like they're all in like incredible shape and they're all still working out. Obviously, they're not going to be as fresh when they get on the ice. But
yeah, it'll be interesting to see which teams can stay like at that high level. I'm a little worried it's going to negatively affect the Bruins if they come back, but
yeah, I don't know. I think it's just going to be different. Like you're going to see teams that were good might just absolutely shit the bed, and then other teams that are just not doing well might pick it up. So it kind of depends on how, if they do come back, the format of the playoff, going into the playoffs and all that stuff. Are they going to finish the season, or are they going to somehow change like what's going to happen? But it's all unknown.
yeah, because Bettman's been really positive about it, and he keeps saying that he wants to finish the season and stuff. But I don't know. You just don't know. I guess everything's up in the air right now, so you don't really know about what's going to happen.
Zach, what do you think's the best kind of possible outcome for them to like? What do you think would be the best possible outcome for this season?
I'll tell you the best possible outcome. Clear answer. Bettman's suggestion of having 24 teams to make the playoffs, it's brilliant. And they should just go, there shouldn't be a wild card. The 24th team should have the same chance as the first team. Come on. It just happens to be the Canadians, but it'll work out great.
Oh, great. Here we go.
Say that.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that, so I baited you into saying that, and I think you're wrong by a lot.
I saw people saying that. The problem is people are saying the 24th team is going to be the Canadians, but I'm pretty sure they're going to be smart enough to do it by win percentage, and in that case, the Canadians are not going to make it. So that would just be like a real like downer.
I think right now Columbus has I think 2 or 3 more points than the Islanders, but their point percentage is lower. So if they go by point percentage and they said no regular season, the Islanders would be in, which I wouldn't hate. But then again, it'd just be kind of unfair to Columbus in a way because, well, it just all this whole schedule thing was different from this point on. So it's not really fair to set like a line.
It should only be
you have to finish the regular season too. I don't think you can just jump right into it. Like guys would be rusty still. I think they need a little bit more
time.
time.
Same for everyone.
Yeah, but I just think, and in fairness, I think you do the normal playoff format and just finish it out. But who even knows if they'll get to that point?
Yeah, I don't think they'll have time. Obviously, they want to do that, but it seems like almost impossible that they'll have time to finish the regular season.
Yeah.
Because then we're playing, say we come back in June, and then we got to finish the regular season and then play all of playoffs. We won't be done until September, and then we got to start right back up in October? Like,
yeah.
It's just not – I don't know how they're going to find a way, like, that makes sense not only, like, for the players and, like, for next season, but also you got to think of all the other sports that are going to come back at the same time. They're going to have, if basketball returns, you have golf this summer, then you're going to have football. It's like, how are we all going to bring all this back at once? It's a crazy time.
Yeah.
Especially if they bring back their regular season and then they have to shorten up the playoffs. I think that would be one of the a worst outcome than anything because everyone loves playoff hockey, and to have a bunch of best of 3 series leading up to the Stanley Cup final and then make it a best of 7 later, I don't think anyone really wants to see that. You'd rather see best of 7 series right off the bat with the teams that are already in a playoff spot, or maybe you play just a few regular season games, maybe 76 you end off with, and then get into an actual playoff format that has a 7-game series.
Isn't it as if they cancel? I'm probably totally wrong because I can't read, but I thought I read somewhere that if the season's canceled, it's the team with the most amount of points, correct? That would then win it, and that's good for the Bruins. Okay, I just want to make sure we got that in there.
Technically, yeah, but I feel like they won't do that. I feel like they won't.
Honestly, like I feel like if, like, yeah, it might be in the rules. That's how it's going to work. But I could really see that if we don't come back from this, like this season, I think it could be a wash. Like you're seeing, like colleges and high schools around like country and like even like pro sports, they're just basically taking it like the 2019-2020 season just didn't even happen. Yeah. And I think that's a scary thing to think about because we just wasted a whole year.
Yeah, I got buddies here at home that were in all Ontarios, so it's like all the province, and they were up 2-1 in a best of 5. They just needed to win one more, and they just said, "Yeah, that's it, we're done." So they're just basically throwing it out.
Yeah, I could see it being a wash for sure. I think it's much more likely to be like a lost season than they're going to award the cup to an unfinished season.
Yeah, which is, I mean, we made it this far. It's one thing if like this whole situation happened in, December where we only played, not even half the season, but we only had like 3.5 weeks left. Like everyone's getting fired up for playoffs, and then it's all over.
Just getting to the fun part.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Do you guys think that if they did do playoffs and whoever wins, do you think there would be like an asterisk like, do you think it would be the same?
Yeah, I was gonna say that. I was gonna be like, yeah, if the Habs like make it in as 24th and then win, I feel like no one will let you down.
That's like Barry Bonds hitting all those home runs. Like, yeah, they went out of the park, but he was also taking steroids the entire time. Like, come on.
Yeah.
No chance.
It'll just be weird if a team wins it in some random city and there's not a soul in sight and in attendance, like just watching a team celebrate, let's say in the middle of nowhere, and there isn't like a person banging on the glass. They're celebrating in an empty arena.
Could be in Saskatchewan.
Yeah, I'll be partying there. I'll be partying with them.
Imagine it's like basically like winning like your beer league. Like,
yeah,
no one cares about the guys on the ice at that point. Like it'd be a weird situation if like they did return, no fans, all that stuff. Like just having no one to like you score a goal and just it's silent. It's crazy.
Yeah. Dallas, if the Leafs win, are you going to celebrate?
Probably not. I'm going to stay content and stay inside the house if asked to.
He'll put all of his jerseys on at once.
Yeah. Brilliant. Dally, what's your next on the docket? I'll teach you the hosting duties eventually. You'll learn.
Good man. Okay, well, obviously, let's talk about next season. Like, you say it's almost 100% that next season's getting affected some way or another?
Yeah, 100%.
I don't if it's a wash, I don't think so. I think it would be good for a lot of the guys. If they play through the playoffs, I think for sure it'll affect them.
I think the way I'm only a doctor on Twitter, and that's just a fake title that I gave myself. But I would honestly say, like, at least that you've seen, like, colleges already talking about going online next fall. Like, if they just don't – if this doesn't end or whatever it is, like, I couldn't imagine how they could then keep going forward. If they cancel this season and start playing the whole hockey season next year, like, it'd just be a crazy scenario.
Yeah.
That's the thing, especially with school, because I know in colleges in the States there, they moved everything a year back for spring sports. Like, imagine if they have to start doing the same in hockey down there.
Yeah, which would be crazy. I mean, that means I'd have another year of eligibility, which I don't think my coach wants that at all, or my teammates. I'm not the best guy on the ice, but no, I think it just right now, the situation that we're in, the climate is just it's all unknown. And if this kind of continues, how long will we be pushing things back for?
Yeah. Do you still have school going on, or it's pushed online?
Yeah, like right now it's all online, which is basically feels like there's no school because you just go to online class. Teacher talks about nothing because it's just a weird time. Like, for instance, I'm in an improv class right now. How the hell do you do improv over Zoom? Like, it's not very easy.
Yeah, we only have one online class. It's a nightmare.
Yeah, I have like 6 right now. It's awful, but Who knows?
Yeah. One thing I wanted to discuss, it was a big topic of discussion in the Pencer household yesterday. Do you guys think Ovechkin's gonna pass Gretzky?
If this season's canceled, then no, I don't. I don't
I
know. It's
was
hard to
thinking
say.
about that. I think it would help him when you think about it, because playoffs do not go at all towards the record, and it's just going to give him a whole lot of rest.
Yeah, but at his age, do you want to be sitting around not doing anything and just burning more years off your?
But he's only losing like 15 more games of regular season.
That's if this season, but then you could be looking at next season. Something
what if
as well?
I'd be shocked if next season is delayed or can't. If next season loses games.
Yeah.
It's really hard to say right now with so much up in the air, but I still think the record is on the table to be broken. I mean, he might lose, 10 to 15 games this year. He might lose a few more next year, but it's only 15 or 20 games he's losing, maybe the max 30 games. I still think the record's breakable.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine being a goalie, like seeing him just line up for a one-timer, like how terrifying that must be. Like if he wants to break the record, like any NHL team, just sign me as a goalie, and I'll just let him score because I'm not getting away with that. That's terrifying.
180 more.
Yeah, I'll take that deal.
Yeah, no, I still think staying on Ovechkin. I know this is a bit of a hot take, but I think he's one of the more overrated players like ever to play. The guy.
I mean,
he could score, but he never has had like everyone argues like when he's on the ice, the other team has to pay more attention to him. That would be reflective in his plus minus, which it's not because he's had like horrible plus minus so many years. Even when they win, like Backstrom year after year has been so good.
Yeah, he's so dominant on the power play though too. Like, I don't know. I can't say he's overrated. Look at what he's done.
On the power play he's dominant, but but that's not just to put him as one of the best. So is like Stamkos also on the power play. Like there's a lot of guys who dominate.
I will say this. No, go ahead.
All you.
No, I will say this. I don't think I've ever seen Ovechkin come into his own defensive zone once. So I understand what you're saying at that point. I wouldn't say he's completely like overrated in the sense that, I mean, look what he's done. I haven't even scored that many goals like in my life, including practice. So like,
no, for sure
he has that going for him. But at the same time, I think you do have a point where it's like he's not the best of all time, I would say.
Yeah, no, I don't think he's one of the best.
But I don't think people look at him as a complete player. It's his goal scoring ability that everyone praises.
That's what everyone loves about him, is just his goal scoring ability. I think everyone knows how bad he is defensively, and that's never going to change, I don't think. It's just something the Caps have had to live with for the last however long, but they're okay with it because he's just so lethal in the power play that they don't care.
Yeah. Opposing that, I think Backstrom's like the most underrated player. He just like every single year has like 80 points and nobody cares.
Yeah, he's one of the best playmakers in the league for sure.
Alex Semin, throwback to him. Remember when he crushed it with Backstrom, and then he went to Carolina and the Habs and had like 20 points?
Yep.
Terrible times.
Well, obviously, here's a question for you guys. Obviously, the Oilers, McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, they're doing just so well. I had a frog in my throat there.
Oh, what's complicated about that?
Do you think he has another season like he's had this year?
Draisaitl?
Yeah. I can't save all my hot takes. I can't use all my hot takes in one episode.
I think he will. I think he's 24 years old. Like, he's only getting going, I think, and he's going to be real good. It's not like he's playing with anyone fantastic either. It's like, obviously, McDavid on the power play, but his lines, same with McDavid, he makes players around him a lot better.
Yeah, agreed. Griffin's probably thinking my hot take is like Draisaitl is no good. That's not my hot take. Draisaitl is incredible.
Oh, it's fun when you said hot take. I heard hot cake, and I thought of pancakes real quick. But yeah, no, I won't dispute anything about Draisaitl.
But yeah, he's incredible. I think he'll for sure be just as good.
Yeah, I mean, when McDavid was out, I mean, he was
better.
Still good. Like, it didn't matter.
Yeah. It's like Malkin also. Everyone gives Crosby like all the credit, which he probably deserves. But Malkin was like better when Crosby was gone.
Yeah. Like the only goals I've ever scored is when like it's a shift change. I'm out with the first liners. Like that's my point. Like those guys, like they're good. Like I'm not gonna do anything for them.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be great for years to come. Obviously, a lot of people had doubts with him. They're like, "Oh, it's just McDavid on that team," and like they have no one else. But I think he's going to be dominant for a few years. I was hoping one of you guys would argue with me, and then I could show you up. But I think those two are going to be a lethal combo in Edmonton.
Well, your question, Dallas, was is Draisaitl good? And the guy has like 120 points in like.
No, I meant like, is he going to be good for a while? Was my question, or if he was just having one wild season.
Well, he was good last year too.
Wasn't like that
I
good
think
though.
he easily take home the Hart this year too. Like he's obviously gonna be good still.
I don't know, man. Sometimes
He's not. This way, he's not a bad hockey player.
Yeah.
by any means. By any
If you were to redraft the Pastrnak Draisaitl, who are you taking first?
That's a good question.
I've been debating about this, and I go back and forth on it. Obviously, I'm a Bruins fan, so there's a little bit of bias, but I think it's almost too close to call.
Yeah, I would probably take Draisaitl just because of this year, but like, I don't know. Yeah, it's like 50-50 because Pasternak's been good for like a while now, and he's on a much better team.
Yeah.
Plus obviously now like knowing where he's at, like the line combo of Pasta, Marchand, and Bergeron, like
that's true.
I mean, you can't. Yeah, you might want to draft someone else like differently, but how will Draisaitl like be in that position there?
Like if I'm Boston, I would not go back and swap Pastrnak for Draisaitl.
Oh yeah, no.
That line.
Yeah, I don't like that swap idea either. I think that line is just so good. It's the best line in hockey. Why would you want to mess with that and try something else?
Yeah, that line is disgusting. I give you guys that.
Yeah.
They've won lots of money throughout the years.
And they've been good for
that
a
line.
long time.
That's the one thing I never do is bet on the Bruins for whatever reason. I just normally the money line is just not worth it, and I normally try and look for better odds. But
just don't do it for regulation because they go to overtime every single time, and then they always lose. It's awful.
Yeah. What do we have? 18 overtime shootout losses this year, I think.
Just something. I can't even count that high. That's how many. It was awful.
As soon as it would go to overtime, I'd be like, yeah, that's it. Pack the bags.
Game's over. I mean, it was over.
And then the shootout, I never understood.
Complain a lot for a team that's in first place.
Okay.
Yeah, but imagine if you take half of those away. How many and gave me the win? Just half. Like
we had 12 losses in regulation this year. Like that's.
Oh, you guys sicken me. Don't worry.
I'm happy my Stars are out in the West. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Nobody cares about the Dallas Stars.
And no one wants to talk about the Dallas Stars ever. No one has anything bad to say or good to say. It's like they don't even know.
Dallas Stars.
Like they don't even know they exist, kind of thing. We just like hide out in the West.
Because you guys are so mediocre.
Well, they're so good this year. They just play so defensively.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't love the Stars.
I can't believe you call us mediocre, Justin.
I think you are.
We're like a top 8 team in the league. What are you talking about mediocre?
I don't know. I don't think the Stars could get it done in the playoffs.
We had St. Louis last year up 3-2 in the series, and we took them to double overtime, and they won the Stanley Cup.
And then what happened?
Yeah. Well, Ben Bishop could only stop 60 shots, not 61. So unfortunately,
Dallas does make a good point.
Okay, but then why'd they have 60 shots, Dallas? Clearly the team in front of them wasn't doing too good.
Kind of the thing, Justin. We play a defensive style game because we have one of the best goalies in the league. So
if only you had
so much for your mediocre
comment, no doubt about it. That could be episode 2 of my rant on Carey Price.
Boy.
I have a lot of takes, Griffin. This is the one I get most heated about.
I love hot takes. They're the best thing in the world, so I'm excited for this.
The Carey Price is not – the Connor McDavid hot take's a hot take. The Carey Price one's not a hot take. It's just fact. Not good.
You've got a lot of people convinced on that one, too, on the Carey Price one. Like, I'm with you now.
Yeah, because it's fact.
I don't know.
We're just going to get to it next time. Save it for next time.
Yeah, we can't give him too much.
That's a great tease right there. I like that, Zach.
Thank you, Dallas.
Yes.
Dallas, do you have a quote of the day for us before we end this thing?
Wow, putting me on the spot. I don't really. I could steal one though, but I'd feel bad if I did that.
What about hoses and buckets? Is it?
Oh, it's don't leave.
Oh, don't leave the hose in the pail.
There we go.
Habs left Carey Price's hose in the pail, didn't they, Zach?
They did. That's right. Griffin's
Well,
probably
Griff, if you
so
don't know what he's
confused.
talking about, neither do we.
I'm just like, yeah, pale. I don't sure, whatever.
We don't understand him either. We just like to go with it and egg him on.
One time in
But-
class, we had a guest speaker, and they said, does anyone have their own saying? And we all went, yeah, Dallas does. Dallas does. She goes, oh, what is it? And then he said that line, and everyone in the class was just like, what? She had no idea. Dallas just loved it. I was crying, laughing. Oh.
You had to be there to see it. You had to be
Yeah,
there.
it's a geography joke. You had to be there. I get it.
Exactly.
Host Alley.
Well, is that all we've got to say, or do you guys want to talk a little bit more?
Yeah, no, I think we save it for episode 2 for those who have listened this far along.
Yeah, if you've made it this far, then thanks, and hopefully you like it, and we'll keep making more content. I'm excited to keep this thing going,
Yeah,
quarantine style.
Yeah.
yeah. The Zoom
talk
call.
to some
Dallas
other
will get his
people.
Wi-Fi figured out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got a guy coming later today to check
Yeah,
out
he's
the
got a guy.
situation.
It's actually been good since you switched to
I
non.
told you I had to just call an audible there, and everything's been fine ever
You got
since.
2 different Wi-Fi's at your house, Dally. Hey, doing well for yourself.
Yeah,
Wow.
some are pretty jealous. You know, we've had to change the password a few times.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And next episode, you're going to wear your Tavares jersey, right?
I wish I had one.
What about
I
the
wish I
Marner
had
one?
Maybe I'll wear my Marner one. I have a SunBin one actually from when
Yeah,
I was
throw
a
it
Oh
fan.
on.
my God!
I think it's like a child size. Maybe I'll wear it just for fun.
Do you have any Stars jerseys?
They're all in Toronto, but yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sure,
And Ben, Sagan, and Heiskanen.
sure
And
you do.
Geez, that was a lot of money to drop right when you moved to Toronto, eh?
I'm sure it sure was, and we're still hurting bad. But
Oh, well. It was nice talking to you, fellas.
Yeah, all right, boys.
We'll see you next time.
all right, fellas, go Stars, go.
No.